you get bleach all over it?
And they're banging off the wall.
As you do. All right, gents. So we are in strange new waters. Do you know why? This is Brace Ourselves, episode A. Unbelievable.
Hey, double figures.
Fucking hell.
We'll have to have a launch party.
Yeah.
We won't be doing that.
No.
So, any news, lads? Is what's the last one there? The fight night.
Yeah, try to pronounce the. What's his name?
What?
What's the lad in the headline of fight? How do you pronounce his name?
Prochazka.
Prochazka.
Prochazka, I think. And I only noted that because that's why Rogan was, or not Rogan, whoever's Bisming, I think it was saying it.
Right.
Prochazka.
That doesn't mean it's right.
No, it could be completely different. Let's be honest about it.
Coming into this card, there was a bit of chat about the one of the fights on the card, which was Ion Cutelaba. Do you remember we were actually talking about it?
Yeah.
And this nonsense that we often see at weigh-ins and face-offs and all this, where he walked straight forward and grabbed Dustin Jacoby by the back of the neck and pulled him in, which is, we talked about this last week, and I've seen other people chatting about it online, and I think most people are coming to the same conclusion that Dana White or management or whoever is in charge of this should start just slapping out fines left, right, and centre for that sort of shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking nonsense.
It was cheesy and weird, and
it's cheesy. It's immature. It's cringy. And for the fact, keep in mind the fact that these two lads are going in to fight. They're being paid to fight. No one's stopping them from fighting. Like, he's done that before.
Whatever about bigging up the fight. We've said before, we said it what happened with Jeremy Stevens and that. The only thing at that stage, there is no bigging up the fight. You're either going to tune in or you're not.
Yeah.
The only thing that made me think about that fight is you want to see Cutelaba get knocked out.
Yeah.
Every time you see that lad, you just walk away thinking, what a dick.
Yeah. Big time.
Absolute dick.
And the other thing is, he might just be a dick.
Yeah, there is absolutely.
He might just be a dick.
It might come down to personality. That he's just an absolute knob end.
Because you remember the fight where he was pretending to be hurt and he was flopping around the place.
Yeah.
I think
that was the fight where he walked across the cage, but he walked straight up to your man and shoved him. And I know people were giving out that the officials didn't do their job really, but I think the officials are standing there going, "What the fuck just happened? Like, what's No one was expecting it. I can't remember who the fighter was." But anyway, he fought. Neither of them are ranked. So Ion Cutelaba and Dustin Jacoby at light heavyweight. What do you just think? Despite obviously, being disappointed that Cutelaba didn't get minced.
Yeah, good fourth round from Cutelaba. You have to say, what, eight takedowns? Huh?
He usually burns out in the first round.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I was expecting if it went further in the first round, I was expecting your man Jacoby to come on and take the later two rounds.
He's not the biggest light heavyweight. I mean, he looks like a chiseled little stone, Cutelaba, but when you actually look at it, he's not that big. And I think that's where he's going to really struggle at the upper echelons when you get into that top 15, top 12. There's a lot of big units there. A lot of lads are walking around 6'3", 6'4", you know.
He's not ranked, is he?
He's not ranked.
No. He's pissed dirty, you know that.
That doesn't surprise me. When?
I think he's only that fight you were talking about, Paul, where or Mark, when he was dancing, fucking pretending to be hurt. I think that was his first fight after suspension because he pissed dirty.
Okay.
It doesn't really surprise me, and I don't know if that's just because he's a dick. or because he does look fucking shredded. What was it? It doesn't say actually. I'm just checking there.
Not
It doesn't
even a
say what.
shredded.
It doesn't say what it was, but it was. It says here it was due to potential anti-doping policy violation stemming from its investigation into voluntary disclosures by Cutelaba.
Yeah, so here I fucking took drugs, so don't let it out.
Don't test that. I'll fail. He's
And how
banned
long
for 6 months.
was it? A year, 12 months?
I think it was 6 months.
6.
Yeah.
I think that isn't that the advantage of taking a voluntary one? You get 6 months instead of 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know he fucking pissed Doherty, the fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
Hope he's not watching this.
I'll put a Google Maps link to John's gaff.
Yeah. He
Fucking out in the garden.
he's probably as good as he's ever looked though in that first round.
Yeah,
probably,
but by that yardstick, I don't think he looks amazing. I mean,
no.
wild shots. He took.
He's not getting into the listen. Anyone in the top 10, I imagine, would last out of
it. If he ever breaks the top 10, he's getting smoked.
He got the takedowns easy, but he got the takedowns easy against a kickboxer.
Yeah.
So you might say, oh, geez, 8 takedowns in the 4th round. That's blatant amazing. It's not really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What I would say is, it would, for me, and as much as I don't like him, it had to be a 10-8 round. 8 takedowns. Man really didn't land anything. And he wasn't doing massive damage, but he kept busy.
It was close to being a 10-7.
Yeah.
10-7.
The short elbows on the inside. And
Jacoby was warned 3 times about grabbing the cage.
That's true. And do you know what? That's one thing I did want to bring up, actually. I actually like that referee normally, but I thought that was a fucking horrendous showing.
Who was it?
I think it's Keith. His name's gone out, but he's yes. No, not Peterson. No. He's done. He gets quite a lot of fights in the He's been getting a lot of fights in the last 2-3 years, and he's usually solid. And I thought that was horrendous. He grabbed the cage. Huh?
The little fella that Dominic Cruz hates.
No. He's a big black dude.
Mark Roberts. Yeah, I know the guy you're talking about. Yeah, he's a good ref. Yeah.
He's a good, solid ref. And my thing is, right, he's grabbed the cage, which has prevented a takedown or altered a takedown. You've warned him. He did it again, and you warned him. Then he did it again, and you warn him again.
He should be stop the action.
Stop the action. What, I mean, take a point. Because he warned me, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And it sends a terrible message. I just think, listen, either you can grab the cage or you can't. And I wouldn't really have if the rules had said grab the cage, fine. It has never said that in modern mixed martial arts. You can't grab the cage. Everybody knows it. If you grab it once and it can be seen as a reaction, okay. But if it stopped the takedown, you have to penalise it.
Absolutely.
And you can't warn him 3-4 times. And then the weird thing was, after he stopped doing it, when they were in and around the cage in takedown situations, he was shouting, "Don't grab the cage! Don't grab the cage!" when he wasn't nowhere near it.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" After the first warning, it's a point. Done.
Well, I'll go one step further. I don't think you get a warning for it.
You don't think?
Yeah, I go with you on that. Yeah.
The ref comes to see you in the locker rooms before you even walk out to the cage. You're a professional player. You know the rules.
Yeah.
You know you can't be grabbing the cage. Now there is a thing. If someone grabs a hold of you and you're falling, your hand might go out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've seen that happen a lot. But grabbing the cage on a takedown and changing that whole the
whole dynamic of it.
The whole dynamic of the fight there, basically, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think you can get one for it all. Instant point with the point.
Yeah, we go with it. But I think it just shows how weak the refereeing can be, even at the top level.
Yeah.
3 warnings for 3 repeat infractions and no point taken.
And all in the space of about a minute and a half.
Shocking. Brutal.
So, I'd agree with you there. It needs to be kind of stamped on. But anyway, these sort of things are kind of situational, depending on referees. You can get.
And it really should be uniform.
It should be. But
let's make it a rule.
We could.
It's an immediate grab it once, point taken, done.
Yeah, we could do a whole show on what needs to be universalized in the rules. Really,
talk about the rules a bit.
So round 2, Jacoby comes out, lands a pretty hefty knee at the very start.
Yeah,
I thought actually he landed the knee, and I thought, Jesus, if he follows up well on this, he could have Cutelaba in serious trouble. But Cutelaba got it straight up against the cage into the kind of body lock clinch position.
I think at that stage, Jacoby was afraid of the takedown.
He was afraid of the takedown, which was weird because
and he was a bit gassed.
Yeah, at that stage, I was thinking very similar to what you were thinking. I was thinking, I bet you Jacoby is terrified of the takedown now, just for the amount of time it wastes.
Yeah.
And the amount of points it's taken off him. But at the same time, I was also thinking Cutelaba looks gassed.
Yeah.
And as I was thinking that, Cutelaba went in for another takedown, which Jacoby shook off.
Yeah.
So I was kind of thinking, right, I'm completely wrong what I was predicting was going to happen. Now what's going to happen? I was thinking, right, is Jacoby now going to see Cutelaba's too tired to take me down now? He's after gassing himself out. Now I can turn it on. I assume. What?
Jacoby was gassed at that stage as well.
He was. He started to lose brain.
And Jacoby was coming in off on a 4-fight win streak, in fairness. 3 in the UFC.
Yeah. I don't think he was threatening.
No one amazing. He beat back in Bellator, he lost to Molo All. He's come in, he won against Ty Flores in the Contender Series. Then he beat Justin Leda back in 2020, TKO leg kicks. Maxim Grishin, unanimous decision just there in February. He was on the prelims of the Rosenstruck game. But I think I think I do remember the Maxim Grisham fight. But what I would say is at this level, this deep into his career, I think he's, what age is he?
He's late 20s, early 30s.
He's 33. Yeah. I think he showed a massive hole in his game. And the whole thing is, you can have a hole in your game, but you have to have something to counteract that. Like Diaz brothers, their wrestling was never good. They always got taken down, but then you were fucked because then you were on the ground with them, bidding the bollocks if you took them down.
Yeah.
If you're a kickboxer and your defensive wrestling isn't that great, and then you've nothing really off your back, you're never really going to break into that upper echelon, because when it gets to the top 10, even your lads that aren't wrestlers are good wrestlers.
Yeah.
And they just decide, right, you're a better kickboxer, fine. They kickbox with you just enough for you to make a mistake, and they'll double in.
Off the back of what you're just saying now, in direct relation to what we're saying about how that round was going, like you were saying earlier on, John, Cutelaba was gassed. Jacoby was looking tired, but Cutelaba was too tired to take him down. So you're kind of thinking, like I was saying, he's got to turn up the volume a little bit now. Yeah. He did nothing. He didn't threaten anything on his feet. Cutelaba was still throwing those big enormous shots with nothing behind them at that stage, because I think he hit him once or twice flush, and it looked like it didn't actually do anything.
Yeah. I think the second and third rounds were very close, though. If you looked at there was very little, because there was no big shots landing. If one landed one or two, 30 seconds later, someone else lands.
Yeah, I think at the last 30 seconds or so, Jacoby landed a good flurry of combos.
Yeah.
He landed a couple of 1-2s and a couple of a nice little combos. Nothing. Nothing like you go, oh, here we go.
No.
But he was starting to rack it up. But again, too little, too late. At the end of a round, it's no use. I know. There's a lot of fighters that train the last 30 seconds and they go mental, kind of thing. And you have to wonder.
Lost the rest of the
you have to wonder exactly what is the point in that then. If you spent the whole round being kind of manhandled,
it comes to an old boxing thing of finishing a round strong.
Yeah,
the last thing the judge will remember is your last 30 seconds.
I think that's a coaching tactic.
It is.
Hopefully we'll see the end of.
Strong, look better in the judge's eyes.
But
to me, if you were getting bounced around the fucking octagon for bleeding 4.5 minutes, that last 30 seconds, whether you finish on top or not, is not going to do it.
And if a judge does weigh in on that, they shouldn't be judging fights at this level anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Round 3 was definitely Jacoby's. It wasn't a particularly great round anyway, but he did land a lot of more kicks. He landed a good body kick.
He did get a takedown at the end of that one, wasn't
he? He did get a takedown. But at that stage, I think Cutelaba had just gone even slower and was doing a lot of covering, just turtling up against the cage. Nothing Cutelaba was landing was bothering Jacoby. Jacoby was landing nice combos. Again, nothing amazing, but it was volume and it was action.
Judging on them too, I think it was a draw. Like, it was definitely a draw.
To be honest with you, if you were to judge it,
I had Cutelaba nicking it with a 10-8 in the first, and I had given him the second. But at the same time, if someone else had said to me, Jacoby to get the second, third Jacoby.
Yeah, I put down a note, my own little note here. I just wrote at the very end of that, just my thought after seeing the fight was Cutelaba is probably the least interesting light heavyweight on the roster.
Yeah.
I just don't think I'm watching his skill set and I'm watching what he's doing and there's nothing at all. He takes lads down. So what? There's loads of fucking...
It reminds me of another Roy Nelson. Do you know what I mean? If he doesn't get that knockout, if he doesn't take your head off in the first few minutes, gas, it's going to take not to the extent of Roy Nelson.
Yeah,
don't get he goes a distance, whereas Roy Nelson,
his record is very patchy in the UFC. Like he came in, lost a sub, won a decision, lost a decision. He had 2 TKO wins, then lost a submission, TKO win, then gets stopped twice.
2 hit and miss. In the light heavyweight division, you have to be a little bit. You have to have a good bit of what would you like momentum behind you. I think.
Yeah, back when he was fighting in kind of the regional shows and like in around Eastern Europe, Ukraine, that he was starching lads.
Yeah.
No, that is, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's obvious why.
I reckon he's one of them lads would be a monster if he dropped the weight.
Yeah.
Drop down the middle weight, he'd be savage.
Yeah. What height is he?
6'1".
Yeah.
Colby's like 6'4", I think.
Yeah, that's right. He's much taller.
All right. What about the next fight? What did you make of it?
The next fight again, it was interesting, but again, it's one of those fights it's difficult enough to kind of create an opinion over. Cub Swanson versus Giga Chikadze. Swanson was ranked 15. Chikadze was 14 in the featherweight division.
Yeah.
I fucking love watching Cub Swanson fight.
I've always liked
one of them lads that way. I nearly watch him take his shit.
Excuse me?
He probably has an OnlyFans page for that, mate.
I'm starting to wonder though, is his age caught up with him? Like,
I was going to say that. I think
4 losses.
Yeah.
The weird thing is though, and it does happen with fighters sometimes. He had 4 losses. He came back and he win against Cron Gracie, and then he looked fantastic last time out against Daniel Pineda. But then, like, it can happen. I've seen it before. Like, a fighter's just old overnight.
Yeah.
You watch them fighting, and they're like lighting cunts up.
Yeah.
And 6 months later, they get in, and they're old.
Yeah.
When was that fight he had with Doho Choi? When was that?
That was UFC 206, December 2016.
2016.
5 years ago.
To be honest with you, I thought that was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
If you look at that fight, that's time seeing him and you go, Jesus, he's making another run here. Like, do you know what I mean? He looked fantastic in that fight. Now I'm kind of got.
The last time out against Pineda, he looked cracking as well. He looked fast and he looked strong and accurate and aggressive.
No, he's not one of them lads where you go, what kind of lad are we going to get tonight? Swanson's a bleeding killer. Like,
absolutely. Love watching him fight.
Yeah. 37 though. 37. Especially with weight cutting as well. When you start getting when you're over 35 and you're like even elite athletes, the body just doesn't want to give up the weight anymore and
goes down.
Take its toll. Like, it has to.
Yeah.
Come here. I don't think there's anyone that would have stood up to that body kick.
Oh,
no.
That was
The minute it landed, man, it just took everything out of him, didn't it?
Hear it?
Yeah.
You ever been hit like that?
Not like that. No, I've gotten caught a body shot, and I've caught a shot to the bread basket and just below the ribs. But
the liver shot is different ball game.
I've been hit like that. No, I didn't get it in the liver. I got right in the bleeding stomach. And I tell you, it blew the wind down me.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't just 10 minutes after.
Your body
it shuts down, man. Sorry.
He's a couple of liver kick finishes as a kickboxer as well.
You what?
He has a couple of body kick finishes as a kickboxer as well.
Yeah, one of the lads mentioned, whoever was doing the commentating mentioned he's got a couple of liver kick finishes there.
And now he's on 6-fight win streak.
So does it say what rank he's moved up to? There's only one of the difference between him and
14 as of April 26th.
He swapped places. Oh no, he was 14. Sorry, he was 14.
That was April 26th.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So he's probably gone up a couple of places. Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's that
other than the fucking the liver kick. Like.
No, not a whole lot. He measured him perfectly. He timed it well.
Yeah,
you know, it's that southpaw orthodox. The liver is just there for that back leg.
I mean, there's not much to talk about the fight, but you could see he was keeping Swanson in that mid-range very well by backing off as Swanson was trying to close the distance. And he just timed it perfect.
And the whole thing against an elite kickboxer, you're either all the way in or all the way out.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely,
or you're bollocks. You're in.
You're standing in that Goldilocks zone.
Yeah.
Game over.
It's all in or all out. It's
absolutely
no way around it. Especially southpaw lined up against orthodox. You're sitting there.
Before we talk about the next fight, which was the main event, I was looking back over the notes of our previous shows, and in episode 2, we were chatting about the light heavyweight division, and I had mentioned something about where we're going to see a lot of changes and a lot of new young blood coming in. And off the back of that, I think Jiri Prochazka illustrated that perfectly. Now, I'll be honest and to say straight up, he's kind of flown under my radar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I took him out of him was
he's only had the 2 fights on the UFC.
Was when I was looking at him, the last fight out was his movement is so awkward for a big lad. Like he's so awkward to read. Now,
it is awkward to read, but not in a clumsy way.
No, it's very purposeful.
Yeah,
he's purposely awkward.
Some fighters, like say for example,
Artem Lobov, the GOAT.
Now, who can I pick that's a striker that's kind of an awkward one to read?
Do you mean purposely awkward?
No, just awkward.
Oh.
What's that heavyweight? Josh Barnett.
Yeah.
His striking isn't terrible.
But he's awkward with it.
But he's very difficult to read because he's unorthodox footwork and position and everything like that.
Yeah.
Whereas Prochazka is awkward, but there's a purpose for every movement he makes.
Now,
I think, I don't know if I'm imagining it, but I think someone mentioned in the commentary box, there's no wasted movement with him.
There's no
over the top. Like you might do the odd flashy move, but it's not. He doesn't wind up on it. He doesn't.
No.
Build anything up. He flows very naturally.
Well, I'll tell you what the big problem is for him and for the UFC light heavyweight division. He's had 2 fights, 2 wins. He's now the number 2 contender.
Yeah.
Now,
I don't like that. Like.
I know, but
this is the problem with the whole light heavyweight division is really, really light. So
I think if he goes up against Blachowicz, I think he doesn't. Because he seems to have a chin like fucking granite.
He takes a lot of shots, though, doesn't he?
Himself and Paul were saying this the other day, Mark. I'm saying it on Sunday or Monday. He seems to rely on his chin a lot. He just walks forward, and he took big shots off Reyes there. He got wobbled.
His head is way up.
Center line. Yeah,
it's always on center line.
Yeah.
He took, and in the Ostermeyer fight as well. Wasn't Ostermeyer's first fight?
Yeah.
He took a lot of shots in that as well.
Yeah.
And either of them lads can put you out.
Yeah.
He must have a fucking team, and he seems to rely on that a lot.
Yeah. My thing as well is, have we seen what's his wrestling game like? What's his grappling game like? And it's all well and good sometimes if you don't see any of that because he's sparking people. But I don't know. I would like to listen. The reality is, I'd like the light heavyweight division to be thicker with talent. I mean, the top 15, number 15, I've never even heard of him. Jamal Hill, Paul Craig is at 14. Jim Crute is at 13. Misha Serkinov, 12. Ryan Spann, 11. My favorite, Johnny Walker, in at 10. Nikita Krylov at 9. Ozdemir, who I'm starting to look at more and more as a very small light heavyweight.
Yeah, absolutely.
At 8. Ankalev at 7. Anthony Smith at 6. Dominic Reyes at 5. Thiago Santos at 4. Alexander Rakic at 3. Prochazka at 2. Glover, and then the champion. Now, the other thing is the champion is 38 and Glover's 40.
Glover's a small light heavyweight as well.
Yeah, he's not a big lad either. The only thing with him is he's a lot of experience, and he kind of gets it. I kind of find with him, he's that much experience that when he knows the striking isn't going for him, he's a very underrated wrestler. His wrestling's very, very good.
Yeah,
and his ground game, is fucking fantastic. I'd like to see Prochazka against Smith. And
I wouldn't mind seeing something like that.
If he can go against someone who's a very good striker, who's a big, strong light heavyweight, who's good at distance, and as well as a good ground game, and come through that, fine, give him a title shot, because the reality is there's no one else really there.
It's looking now that it's not going to happen, is it?
No, that's probably not going to happen.
At least one more fight before he gets a shot.
Yeah.
Obviously,
chances are he's not going to.
No.
Chances are.
Yeah, I think he might win. I think he might beat Blachowicz.
Who's Blachowicz fighting next? Is Blachowicz fighting
Glover? Yeah.
Glover, yeah. So
Glover,
he's going to get the winner of that fight.
Glover?
No, Prochazka is going to get the winner of the Blachowicz to share a fight.
Who do you think wins between Glover and Blachowicz?
You know, I would have said Glover, but I think I've learned from my mistake from last time. I don't think I mean, Blachowicz, he's not to be taken lightly, is he?
No, he's not. No,
he's kind of one of those fighters that you kind of sleep on him a little bit because he's not the most flashy, and he's not necessarily the most, oh wow, did you see that fight kind of fighter. He just does everything well.
Yeah.
He's almost like what would you say, like a humble champion in that way.
He's really, really good at everything, but he's not brilliant at anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no standout. He's not an amazing kickboxer, but he's a good striker.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not an unbelievable wrestler, but he can take you down if make the wrong move.
I'd say the smart money is probably on Jan, but I'm gonna go with my heart and go with Glover on.
The problem
you'd like to see Glover do, and then right off into the sunset, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The problem I have for Prochazka is I don't know enough about him to know how he could handle either Blachowicz or Teixeira.
He's an unknown quantity.
Yeah.
Listen, we have to say he
I think he beats any of the two boys there ahead of him.
Yeah,
he just took them shots like a bleeding, I don't fucking know what, man. He just forward all the bleeding time.
Yeah.
Constant pressure.
His striking was fucking phenomenal, though, wasn't it?
Huh?
His striking himself.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to read. It's so hard to read.
He was landing everything he threw, nearly.
Yeah.
I would worry about just his inability to get his head offline and his willingness to take shots.
Yeah.
In the long term, and just at light heavyweight and heavyweight, when the lads are that size, you can have a great chin, then you're asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're looking up the lights.
I tell you what I did. Sorry,
that would be a great fight for him, is Thiago Santos.
Yeah, and I would have said that only for we just with Santos, it's just to see if he's going to be the same ever again after that surgery.
Yeah,
Just didn't look himself the last time out, and
No, he definitely didn't. Definitely didn't.
Last time,
his footwork didn't look great.
who was it? He looked hesitant.
he got beat, didn't he?
Yeah, he just didn't look himself at all. I think he might be on. I think he's lost 3 of his last. Yeah, he's lost his last 3. So he lost John Jones, got subbed by Teixeira, and it was Alexander Rakic.
Okay,
by decision.
Sound like a cliche, but it looks like he's lost that killer instinct.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the fight with him and Jimmy Manuel. He's fucking what a blading fight! Like he's coming forward all the blading time.
He looked like a monster, didn't he?
Your thing as well. He doesn't look it, but he's 37 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
So he's 37. The champ is 38. The number of contenders 40. Prochazka is 29, and Rakic is 29.
Okay, it looks like it could come down to them 2 lads.
I mean, there's a timeline on all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, athletes generally don't get better, especially when they pass 35. That's just the reality of it.
But I wanted to just tip on about the fight itself, though, to get back to it, was
what a fucking finish. That's what I want to say.
Prochazka, but leading up to that bit, his combos, he wasn't throwing ones, he wasn't throwing feints and jabs, he was throwing combos. Everything he was landing was 2s and 3s. Loads of body shots, head shots, mixing it up real nice. But
what did you think of Reyes?
I thought he looked well.
He gritted through. Like he was still in the fight. He was getting dominated, but he wasn't letting up. He really was trying to grit it through. But
I tell you, the one thing about Reyes that I really like is something that I really like about him, even though he lost, it stood to him in this fight. He is one of the best in the light heavyweight division. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of the best at throwing counters while backing up.
Oh
yeah.
Back against the cage, or when you have him on his back foot, he could spark anyone out.
Yeah,
like they were saying that his left hand is like a fucking rocket, man.
Brilliant, excellent.
It's a pretty fucking thing to watch. It's nice, like, do you know what I mean?
Really nice.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I don't think he lost by any necessarily any wrongdoing on his behalf. He was just fucking for you. What an amazing.
What I thought was what's his name?
Prochazka.
Yeah, he was coming forward all the fucking time, and Reyes had to try and keep him off him, and was firing hard to kind of get that respect. But like I'll go back to it again. Your man just puts a lot of his faith in his chin, and he just took anything Reyes had to deliver, took it,
and just kept going. Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. Like I was kind of thinking, like, would you ever see that cunt knocked out? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he just took fucking everything. I'm surprised the shots he took.
Yeah.
I think the one thing we've all seen throughout the history of watching this is the chin doesn't last forever.
No. They
They
all go.
No, when you're in your 20s, I think you're all right for the while.
Yeah.
The other thing is with Reyes, I'd actually like to see him take a little bit of time off. He's 31. I think 2 stoppage losses in a row. Trying to jump back in, I don't think does that for you. I think he needs to take a little bit of time off.
Definitely after that loss. Definitely after a loss like that. Just face planted.
Heal up, reevaluate, do whatever it is you need to do to get yourself in a good mental space again, and then enter camp again. Because
that was a it was a hefty face plant, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like he nearly landed badly.
Yeah, he was out.
He was dead.
Yeah, and a beautiful elbow.
Someone cut the strings for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was a magic elbow. Like the right elbow that came over missed him. I thought it hit him. Didn't. If you watch it in replay again, it missed him.
Yeah.
It gave him a haircut now, but it missed him. But I think if you look back again, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you watch back again, that right elbow he threw looked like it was a range finder. It looked like he was feeling position where Reyes was. Because as he was throwing it, you could see him twisting and getting ready to throw. I could be wrong now. He could have just missed.
Look at that, he reset his feet
Yeah, it was in a
He
foot.
Yeah.
caught with one elbow, kind of looked, seeing where he would reset his feet, and then fucking
Bang.
scored.
Yep. That's
And,
exactly it.
That's a scary thing to do,
Yep.
like on that split second.
In the moment of a fight, when you have someone
fucking eat that one.
Yeah.
Scary.
what a land though. Oh man, on the button, lights out.
I would like to see him fighting again, though. I have to say, I would like to see him fighting again before the new shot but that light heavyweight division is 10 lads.
It is. It's shallow. It's shallow at the top. The chances of him getting another fight are slim, unless the ever-present ghost of training injuries knocks someone out of contention, takes the title fight off the card. He might end up stepping in and getting a title fight even sooner than we expect.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see. When are they scheduled? When is Teixeira and Blachowicz scheduled?
Tell you now.
I love these awkward silences.
I know, yeah.
They're amazing. This is what the listeners wait for, man.
Yeah. Wait a second.
So, yeah, I mean, I
don't think it's been given a date, has it?
I would like to see possibly Blachowicz fighting. What's that chap you were saying, Mark? I can't remember his name.
Anthony Smith.
Anthony Smith. Smith and Prochazka fighting, and the winner of that getting the title shot.
Yeah.
Because, in fairness, Smith has kind of gotten some steam under him as well.
Especially after that performance there.
Yeah.
It's scheduled for September 2026.
A long time away.
Yeah.
It is a long time away. And it's longer again when you factor in, depending on what state the winner of that fight is in. It could be another 6 months, 7 months further that before they even start another training camp.
Yeah.
It's a long time for him to sit out, isn't it? As a young fighter, only 2 fights into his UFC career. It's a long time to sit out.
That's why I'm saying keep your eye on it. You might fast track him. Say again, John?
I said you're talking the guts of a year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We might see him fast tracked.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all you've seen. You haven't seen anything else, have you?
No. They were the only three.
I know there's a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
You tell me the Random Marcus fight.
Yeah.
You did see that.
I haven't seen that, but I have heard is there a little bit of acting going on?
Oh, a little bit. Fucking hell.
I was saying
they should really be using replays for it.
Yeah.
It was 100% an illegal upkick.
Yeah, someone was playing the game.
It was 100% not flush. 100% did not knock her out or badly hurt her. Not fucking hope.
If you think of what happened before that, I think it was 2 or 3 eye pokes.
Yeah.
To a cut on Random Marco's eyelid, and she was like, "Fight on! I'm not leaving this bleeding thing until you put me out." Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then this happened with your woman, which obviously it wasn't anything done purposely. It was accidental. Your woman could have took the 5 minutes and fucking got up off the bleeding ground and come out to fight. I absolutely don't think it was a fucking knockout bleeding head kick.
No way.
And what makes it worse, I was saying today, she was actually carried
out.
Not out of the octagon, out of the stadium.
Come on now.
Pictures of her. There's a picture of her being carried backstage. Some lad has her in a fireman's carry or whatever it's called.
Nonsense.
Like, if you're that bad, get a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Absolute nonsense.
I didn't think it was up until I seen that.
Listen, I was saying, me Maz hit me harder.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. It was a kick that was almost like a push that accidentally turned into a kick. She tried to pull out of, and it made contact with the face. It wasn't like the heel caught her flush, or she was caught bang on the chin.
Many times have we seen someone knocked out with an up kick, probably twice.
Yeah, and
it's very rare.
Face planting, like
they've
walked into a heel, like
yeah. It's very rare. And was I mistaken? And when your woman was down on the ground, was her coach kneeling down beside her, talking to her?
I didn't see that bit, but I'd look at it again and say.
I got the feeling he was saying.
that was called off now. I could be wrong.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch it. I can't.
I think again, another one for the rules that they should be using instant replay to double check on this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know.
So the next card coming up,
you can do that. Apparently, the ref can do that.
I think the problem is, doesn't it change in different jurisdictions?
This is my problem. This boils my fucking blood. This whole thing where, Nevada is adopting the one hand down is a down fighter. Just make it a universal rule. I don't know why different states are adopting different rules.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm too stupid to understand what the. Don't get it. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
Make it a rule. If it's a rule, it's a rule. It's not like one state says it's okay to spike someone on a takedown, but in Nevada it's not.
Yeah.
Why is there different rules in different states?
Can you tell me another sport that does that?
No.
I don't know any other sport that does that.
Madness.
So you have fighters going in.
Oh, sorry, boxing.
What's the?
So in some states and some governing bodies that have a 3 knockdown rule, which is the fight is over if a fighter gets knocked down.
Oh, yeah.
In some states, you'll have the cornerman. The only person that can stop a fight is the referee. So the cornerman can throw in a towel. There's actually a famous fight. I can't remember the two fellas fighting, but the towel gets thrown in. One fighter is getting hammered. The towel gets thrown in. Referee picks up the towel and fucks it out of the ring.
I remember that, yeah.
And the referee was actually right because he's the one in charge. He stops the fight. And the fella who was getting hammered, whose coach threw in the towel, came back and won. Knocked him out in the next 30 seconds. Yeah. But yeah, then there's it gets ridiculous in boxing. In some states, an accidental head cut after 4 rounds, this happens. Before 4 rounds, this happens. Another state, 6 rounds. Another.
But it's nothing, Mark. It's nothing that. Maybe that's the wrong thing to say. It's nothing that affects the fight in the fight.
Yeah,
no,
there's
you're
nothing,
right. Yeah,
there's nothing positional or there's nothing
positional around. Like, whereas I always said this before. I think it's dangerous because, like, fighters, they should know. You see them getting confused at the time. They should know whether they can throw a knee or not a knee. You shouldn't have a ref going, he's down, don't knee.
Yeah, exactly.
Then a couple of weeks later, you're fighting somewhere else.
Yeah. In fairness, on top of the fighter having to know that and should be able to know that, it's not the ref's job to tell a fighter that the other fighter is down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If we had a universal rule set, that wouldn't have the ref or the fighter wouldn't have to worry about that information. They would know it. If the fighter on top can't see whether the fighter that's either kneeling or crouching, he should use
he's the side judgment. Yeah. He's got to throw a knee and take the risk.
Yeah, if he makes the wrong call, he gets punished for it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, if he plays a safe, then whatever. But it shouldn't be left up to, oh shit, which state am I in? Which rule set is Nevada adopting?
Yeah.
There should be a universal rule set. If you make a mistake off of that rule set, that's on you.
Exactly.
Simple as that. I don't get it. Maybe there's shit here that we don't get, but it just doesn't make any sense to me.
We'd love to actually talk to a fighter about it and see what they think of it.
That'd be a good question to pose to any future guests that want to come on. Anybody that's had even amateur fights that wants to come in and weigh in and give us some info about referees or anything.
Because something that needs to be addressed, I'd say. Like, I would have thought. From a fan standpoint of view,
like it's weird. When I started getting into UFC, whenever it was 20 years ago or 20 odd years ago, I never thought I'd be interested in stuff like weight cuts and rule sets and judges' decisions and stuff like that. But they all form part of it. That kind of they're part of the jigsaw.
Yeah,
big time. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely love to hear from someone who has any sort of kind of hands-on knowledge of that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So anyway, the next card I was just about to say, do we have any interest in making calls for it? Have you looked at the lineup on it?
Yeah, it's a big enough card. I'd say we could maybe do a separate show on it. think
Is
the
this the
main,
one Bell Wars? Was it?
yeah, there's
Yeah,
6
well,
fights in the main card. We might do a
Don't
separate.
even- haven't looked at it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll chat about it the next time we get together anyway.
All right.
So that's all right. We'll knock it there then. 45 minutes. That's one of our shorter shows, is it?
yeah.
Good stuff.
We're getting more efficient.
That's what it is,
More
definitely.
professional.
It's not that we were talking about less fights on this card, is it?
No,
No. It's not that you haven't seen any of the earlier fights on the card, is it?
definitely.
It's that we're actually getting more professional, is it?
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Can't wait to start getting paid for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Advertisers, hit us up.
If anyone out there wants to pay us,
We will take your money.
three
John-
pretty
John-
boys talking MMA.
John is going to start his OnlyFans page.
Yeah. Jesus. That's the only thing. That is the only thing in the internet that will have less followers than us.
I don't know. I'd be into it.
What?
I mean, what?
Well, they'll have the exact same numbers as us.
1.
20 quid for a pig foot. That's all I'm saying.
Did you say 20 pig?
For a foot pig.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I was just saying that earlier on to someone. The fucking. Since I started the Smack Talk Instagram page, it's just been every time a fighter pops up, I just follow, just to see who's doing what.
Yeah.
Paige Van Sant. I might as well not be following a fighter. It's just non-stop bikini shots and OnlyFans stuff.
But obviously, you're only checking out for
just research.
Not signed up now.
No, shut up.
I sent you that picture of Jessica Reyes list, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, that's who it was. That's the menu I was thinking of.
Bizarre.
What was it, like 100 quid for a foot photograph?
Yeah.
What? Some people are just spend money
I
on.
think I'll wait till Rachel Ostovich comes out.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh.
Ah, sorry, what?
What? No.
To check behind me, make sure someone's not going to stab me in the neck.
All right, so lads, we leave it there, yeah?
All right.
And talk to you next time, yeah? Yeah. Peace.